Welcome to the YouTube channel for Saving Grace Lutheran Church here in beautiful Mobile, Alabama. We are giving you our second installment on hurricane preparedness, and this one is on hurricane safety. So as usual, we have Commander Bob Kaler, retired of the U.S. Coast Guard, to give us our presentation today.
Thank you, sir. My Coast Guard career did give me plenty of opportunity to deal with hurricanes. And that previous video was an introduction of sorts. We called it Anticipating Hurricane Season, but today we're really focused on hurricane safety.
Awesome. Now, remember that a lot of the concepts that are going to be here will kind of specifically focus on Mobile and Baldwin counties. Those are the counties that we're in here in Alabama. But all of the concepts that are contained here are useful no matter where you run into a hurricane.
That's right. And the examples we're going to look at today come not only from Alabama, but all the Gulf Coast states.
Great. Let's go ahead and get started.
Sounds good.
There are some very important points to make today. I have enlisted an assistant to help me make sure those important points are identified. Are you ready, Mr. Duck? Our discussion of hurricane safety begins with evacuation, and let's open it with a couple of questions. So, what if I've never personally seen damage that would convince me to evacuate? Or what if the old-timers say there's never been water on my property? These are real-life questions that are kind of poignant for some of us. When Katrina arrived here, we had members who lost all their possessions and had their homes seriously damaged by storm surge. When a group of us gutted Joe and Minnie Lee Tibbetts' home, Joe told us over and over how he had lived here his whole life, 70-some years, and had never seen water come up 6 inches. They got about 5 feet. If you're still not convinced, ask those questions of our sister congregation in New Orleans. In the red circles are Crown of Life Lutheran Church and their parsonage. The Interstate 10 overpass at Bullard Road is clearly visible on the right. That overpass is the only dry ground visible, and there's 5 or more feet of water everywhere else. Now, I suppose you could say that New Orleans is a unique situation, but here's a good general rule. Perhaps you remember the storm surge graphics we looked at in our previous video. Storm surge can easily be 25 feet with a moderate storm. Consequently, New Orleans' 20-foot levee system is inadequate. Even after highly publicized repairs and reinforcement, many people who decide to stay in that city are not safe. Here's another thing to watch out for. The calm before the storm is real. The day, or maybe even several days before a hurricane arrives, may just include the most beautiful weather you've ever seen. Don't allow it to beguile you. Beautiful conditions commonly precede deadly conditions. Keep your guard up, be ready. We touched on evacuation zones in our previous video and how you need to know what to expect at your location. You also ought to know the best routes to use when it's time to go. Some of them are marked well, but they may not all be. Once again, think ahead and know what to expect. Now let's talk for just a minute about when you should make your decision to evacuate. The very simple answer is make your decision early. You need to be able to arrive at your chosen city of refuge before the weather gets bad. You don't make your situation better by setting yourself up to ride out the storm in your car while sitting in bumper-to-bumper traffic. Decide early. Don't wait around. Oh, and fill up your car with gas way before the lines form at the stations. You don't want to run out of gas right in the middle of this mess. Note, this is what they mean when they say contraflow. All of the lanes of the interstate highway are being used for northbound traffic to get the most cars out of town as possible. As you hit the road, be very careful. The leading cause of death in Hurricane Rita, Houston, 2005, was automobile accidents before the storm even arrived. If you're staying at home or any place in the path of the storm, be smart. Don't go out sightseeing. That's pretty easy to understand when the wind is blowing hard. But what about if the eye of the storm passes directly over you and the wind and rain stop? Maybe even the sun or moon come out. It may be even more tempting to go out, but it's also an even more dangerous time. When the trailing side of the eye wall comes across your location, the wind can go from 0 to 150 miles per hour in the blink of an eye. Also, the wind will be going the opposite direction, so every piece of debris or broken tree or damaged building is going to be moved by it. The leading cause of death in Hurricane Charley, Central Florida, August 2004, was eye of the storm sightseeing. After the storm, the danger is not over, but may come from very different sources, so you still need to be really careful. Something worth mentioning is the use of portable generators. They are a wonderful tool, but can also be deadly. Use them only as their instructions say to. The leading cause of death in Hurricane Andrew, South Florida, 1992, was electrocution by portable generator. In the wake of the aforementioned Hurricane Charley, the leading cause of hospitalization was carbon monoxide poisoning due to exhaust fumes entering an area where people were sleeping. Using a grill for cooking can also cause carbon monoxide poisoning. Either should be used outdoors, well away from open doors and windows. We have several documents for you that we hope will be useful as you plan and prepare. One is from the National Oceanographic and Atmospheric Administration and is a directory of emergency contact information for the state of Alabama. The next is on assembly of a go bag for evacuation from the American Association of Retired Persons. The last two, both from the Department of Homeland Security, are about building an emergency kit for your household and evacuating. You can find these on our webpage. The guidance contained in these documents is tried and true, and if there's one thing in it that's most important to reiterate, it's that you need to make a plan for your household way before a storm threatens. You should know how you'll decide what to do to your house and property to get them ready, whether to evacuate or not, and where you'll go if you evacuate. And again, you'll need to make those decisions way before the storm hits so you can take care of your property and or travel before the weather turns bad. As we end today, here's a reminder of what you can expect from Saving Grace. Pastor Spiegelberg says he or the elders will make it a habit to contact members before the storm to find out what each household's plans are and to see if anyone needs any help getting ready. They'll make contact again after the storm passes to ask how everyone fared and again if anyone needs help. To help Pastor and the elders know in advance what your plans are, please fill out our online survey form. If you don't have all the answers, then you can leave those spots blank. At the same time, though, let those blanks remind you of things that you should cover in your hurricane plans. If you have any comments or questions on this presentation or suggestions for future presentations, you can send them to savinggracexo@gmail.com.
Thanks again for checking in today and watching our video on hurricane safety for today. We have another one coming up in our next installment, and that's going to be about interrupted utilities. So make sure to check back and check on that one as well. Don't forget to sign up on our YouTube page, give us a thumbs up, and please check out all of our videos as well as a lot of other materials that we have regarding hurricane season at savinggracemobile.org. Savinggracemobile.org. Thanks for tuning in today.